Hi, good evening. I hope you're doing good. Just type in hi if you're able to see me properly. If you're able to hear me properly, just type in hi. Give me some energy, guys. Yeah, just type in hi if you will see me. Go to your chat box. Yeah, hi, hi. I'm so happy to see you today. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Great, great. Hi, hi, great. So I hope I'm pretty much audible, and I am also listening very clearly. Thank you. So let's begin with today's webinar, online seminar, workshop. It has many names. Today we have a very interesting topic, fundraising. As per the latest research, one of the main reasons why 94% businesses they fail in 1 year is lack of funding. So in this webinar, I'm going to be giving you a lot of insights, a lot of value as to how you can generate money, you can generate funds for your business. Yeah. So it's going to be a step-by-step process. I will bust some myths. I'll give you a lot of insights. Typically, I don't like to do a webinar where a lot of PPT is involved. But I think in this webinar, we'll have to go with the PPT model because I want you to take notes. I want you all to gather your thoughts. I want you all to really jot down points which may be really beneficial for you. We'll do this webinar in 3 parts. Part 1, I'll take you through the entire processes, the checklist that you should have when you raise money. Part 2 will be I'll actually deep dive with you and share all those points, the pros, the cons, the right approach that you should have while you raise money. And third part, I'll explain you about my marketing system. I'll explain you the 2 constants that people always have when they run the business. Yeah, but before that, let me thank you. Thank you for being a part of this webinar. It's 9 p.m. and you could be doing so many things. You could be out with the family. You could be out with your friends. You could be chilling at home. But you chose to be here. Because you chose to be here, I promise, and hand in heart, I really promise that I'll give the best value possible in this webinar. This is going to be 90 minutes webinar. So if you're doing something else, please stop it right now. If you have some other commitments, I think you should disconnect right now because I will give you the step-by-step process to raise money. And while I share those finance options, you should be really inclined, you should be really engrossed with my training. Yeah, my trainings are normally deep and intense. Because it is webinar, I can't have the fun element into it. I also have to finish the webinar in 90 minutes. So you please be with my pace, take notes. I always tell this in all my trainings that you should always take notes because what you write, you invite. And what you don't, you won't. So if you really want to invite those ideas, you really want to invite those blessings, you want to invite that money in your business, take notes, just write it down. One of the most common things ever observed in top wealthiest people in the world was they would always write things. They always plan. They don't use laptop. They don't use desktop. They always take a piece of paper and pen and they write it down. So write your destinies, they always say, so take notes because as I said before, what you write, you invite, and what you don't, you won't. So that's the number 2. Number 3, please be in the right frame of mind. It's 9 p.m. You might be tired. You just had dinner, or maybe you'll have dinner after the webinar. You have an empty stomach. There's no food, or there is excessive food in your stomach. I always tell that food is also a source of energy. Yeah. So water is, by the way. So consume a lot of water during the webinar. Just be with me. I really want you to be with me for next 90 minutes. And when we're done with the webinar, I really want you all to have a crystal clear plan as to whom should you approach, how should you approach, and how should you get the money for your perfect business. See, we all start a business. We have a great idea. We have great concepts flowing in. Some of us quit a job to become entrepreneurs. But the most important part is if you don't have money, you can't run the show. Now, many a times it is very difficult to start the business or to run the business with the money you have in your pocket. Evidently that won't work. You will have to keep finding ways to raise money. And in all my trainings, I always say that there are 2 constants that all entrepreneurs have in their entire life. And those 2 constants are A, keep getting customers, and B, keep raising money. Getting customer is never a one-time affair, and raising money is also not a one-time affair. You have to keep raising the money. If you look at all top business people in the world, they always do their business by raising money. They raise money, they leverage, they churn, they return the principal, and they actually keep the interest. They actually keep the fruits of those seeds. Yeah. So if you are that person who thinks that I have to raise money only once, you're wrong. As an entrepreneur, two constants, write down. Number one, you have to keep getting customers, and number two, you have to keep raising money. So while I move into the boring PPT mode, let me do a quick mind map of the agenda for today. Okay. Now, so when I share things, I just put my video off so that you can have a greater view at the screen. So let me put my video off. Okay. So what happens whenever an entrepreneur wants to start a business? You always have a great idea. Without an idea, you can't start a business. So the idea could be in three parts: identify, solve, monetize. So when somebody is wanting to start a business, or somebody is wanting to do something great for his or her life, there has to be an idea. Now, the idea is to identify a problem. If you don't identify the problem, you won't be able to start a business. I always say Zomato, Swiggy, Book My Show, Oyo, Ola, Uber, all these are nothing but people are very smart to identify problems. Right? If Vijay Shekhar had no identification process, he would not have created Paytm. Right? So is Mr. Agarwal of Oyo and Bansals of Flipkart. So all these people have been really able to identify the problem. The moment you have identified the problem, you have to jump to solving those problems. Your product, your service should basically help people solve their problems. And the third part is you have to monetize that solving. If you have a great idea, if that solving of idea does not convert into money, you have a big problem. So rule number one, you have to identify the problem. Rule number two, you have to solve that problem. And rule number three, you have to create a system, you have to create a mechanism, you have to create a fantastic business plan which is helping you print money, literally print money from solving those problems. So I don't know in which phase of business are you in currently. Are you in the identification phase? Are you in the solving phase? Are you in the monetization phase? I don't know which phase you are in. But if you're in any phase, just remember, if you are starting just now, if you want to start later, you have to think of identifying a problem. If you don't identify a problem, the entire process will go for a toss. The moment you've identified the problem, you have to solve the problem. Now you have to solve the problem creatively. You have to really go back and understand the needs, the desires of those people. Solving a problem can only help them if it fits them in the mind, in the pocket. And third, how do you create a system? How do you create a business which is helping you convert or print money from solving those problems? Yeah, so we can't go detailed into this, but this is just an overview of how an idea emerges, how people actually think of an idea. The moment you have an idea, I have made a checklist of few points, and these are extremely critical. You really need to understand before you go and raise money, you have to focus on these points. So I'll quickly tell you one by one what are these points are. First of all, the first point is you need to have a correct legal structure. Now, many entrepreneurs, many business people, they really fail. Irrespective of what type of funding you would want to select, there are certain things you would need to scrutinize. There are certain things that you need to really think, act before you go out and raise money. The first one is you need to have a correct legal structure. Now, it is always evident that you can't give away all the shares in your company in exchange for the capital. So whenever you raise money, if you're in a private limited company setup or LLP setup, all the investors would ask for shares. It is not possible to give away all the shares. Even if you want to give the shares, some percentage, there has to be legal structure. This legal structure could be in a private limited company. This structure could be in a proprietorship company. This structure could be in an LLP company. Any company that you form, there has to be a legal structure. A private limited company can really help you build credibility. So I always advise people that whenever you want to start any business, though private limited company has its own sort of challenges, though it is very difficult to maintain compliances, audits, etc. It's really important that you present your idea, your business to the investor in the most credible fashion. So if you're really stuck, should we go with LLP or a partnership firm or a private limited firm? I would say go with the toughest one, that is private limited. The moment you are seen as the director, as the promoter, as the owner of a private limited company, your credibility really goes up. Yeah. So please, I hope you're taking notes on that. Number two, you need to have a business plan. Now, you should always work out the numbers of your business in detail. This should include your market size, your market research, your revenue numbers, and most importantly, what do you need the money for and how will it be spent? Your investor is really interested in knowing the business plan. Your business plan should have the market size, the market research, the revenue numbers, and the ROI pattern. How will you spend the money? What will you spend the money on? You have to really forecast those expenses and you have to really time those expenses. Third, you have to really determine your need. So while you're working on the business plan, you will understand how much money you will be needing and what kind of funding to opt for. Yeah. So overfunding can be equally dangerous as underfunding. You can never have overfunding and you can never have underfunding. There has to be the right balance. So you should really determine precisely how much will you need and in what format, so that you don't get overfunded and you don't get underfunded. So it's really important. It's really important. And nobody can give you a template to understand what is the right funding. But the moment you create the business plan, the moment you create the system which can help you forecast number of sales, number of clients, expansion plan, you will get some estimate. Now, plus minus will happen. I'm not saying you'll always make a foolproof plan. Plus and minus will always be there. But it's really critical for you to understand that you get funded rightly. Don't get underfunded. Don't get overfunded. Yeah. The next is market size and market research. You need to know who your ideal customers are and how many of them are there and how much are they willing to spend on a product like yours. This will really help you understand your market and also estimate the size of your industry. Yeah. So it's critical that you really, in my trainings, I always say that you always do the best for the people you love. You do the best for people you care about. Why not really think and actually understand your target customers? The moment you understand that, you will understand the needs, their desires, their spending capacity. And this will really help you estimate the size of your industry. If you don't follow these processes, you will get money, but you will burn money. You will simply burn money. The next step in the checklist is to have a proper prototype. Now, if you're just starting or having a prototype, some call it as MVP, minimum viable product. This is essential. You need to have the prototype or the MVP. This is extremely, extremely essential. If your MVP or prototype is a bare minimum product, you just have enough things to demonstrate and show the world how it works and how it is solving a problem. Now, on the flip side, if you don't have an MVP, you don't have a prototype, you need to get one. You need to really test waters before jumping into it. Yeah. Then market fit, product market fit. You need to give enough indications to show that your target customers need it. There has to be some indicators in place, right? If the target audience is not indicating the need for your product, this is going to be a big failure. So it is highly recommended that you have a test run conducted on the sales, on marketing, on finance, on all aspects of business. So if in case it falls under a brand new category, this will benefit you in more ways than you can ever imagine. So it is always important that the moment you have done the market research, you have an MVP or a prototype, you should go after the product market fit. The moment you go after the product market fit, you have to understand traction. Do you have customers? This should be a natural progression from the product market fit. So by now, you have a product which is validated. You have known the need of the consumer, but you also need to show them that you can keep achieving the same with some growth. Your investors are really interested to know who the customers are, how will you solve the problem, and how will you keep on getting customers for your business. That's what an investor needs. And last but not the least, your pitch deck. Your pitch deck should be a powerful PowerPoint presentation. It could include a summary of all the things I mentioned above: a correct legal structure, a business plan, the need, the size, a prototype, or MVP. I just write it as MVP or MVP, or your product market fit, or your traction. The pitch deck basically has everything that I have mentioned above. Now, you need to have at least 10 to 15 slides summarizing everything about your business and your future projections. You should also work on the elevator pitch, that one-liner, that powerful statement, which is a 1-minute explanation of your business. You always feel that you have to present your idea only when you are facing an investor. Wrong. You have to, in your sleep also, if somebody is waking you up, you should have that pitch ready. What is your 1-minute business idea? What is a verbal visiting card? I always say this. You should have a verbal visiting card. Right? So I think if you follow this checklist, this should give you a good start for raising any money. And you know what usually happens is when you work on these aspects, you understand your business in a completely different perspective. So perhaps it's a good idea to work on these things and otherwise. Many of my clients and students, they tell me that, Jackson, when we follow all these steps, we actually gain a lot of clarity. We actually understand our business better. So it's really important that you follow these checklists and you really go crazy on getting money for your businesses. Now, having understood the idea, the checklist, today the whole objective of the webinar is this. I am going to share 12 options through which you can raise money. Now, we can do a separate webinar on all these points. A legal structure could be a 90-minute webinar. A business plan could be a 90-minute webinar. But today, the whole agenda of this webinar. I have got my other clients joining in today. I have got new leads who have come in from webinar. All those people who are in this webinar, the most common question, the most common hurdle, the most common hindrance that most entrepreneurs face, the most they face is how and where to get money from. So the whole objective, I've got a big presentation which will take you through all these options. So without wasting time, let me just flip to my presentation, and I will now show you the options that you have through which you can raise money for your businesses. Yeah. Okay. The screen is okay. Great. Now, take notes, guys. This will be the most boring part, but take notes because I cannot do this without sharing a PPT. So you have to just take notes. And the first point that we'll pick today is bootstrapping. Now, this webinar, this entire presentation is also made into ebook format. Now, for those who don't have this ebook format, I'll have it emailed to you, but take notes. So the first one is bootstrapping or self-funding. Now, bootstrapping usually means you're building a startup from scratch with your own money. And funding, you're funding the everyday operations from your own pocket or from the sales that you generate. Now, according to this website on my screen, businessdictionary.com, bootstrapping is defined as building a business out of little or virtually nothing. Bootstrappers usually rely on personal income and savings, sweat equity or lowest possible operating costs, fast inventory turnaround, and a cash-only approach to selling. Many of today's corporations, such as Apple or Coca-Cola or Dell Computers or HP or Microsoft, they all began as bootstrapped ventures. They all began as self-funded ventures. Most of the world's startups still follow this road, either because there is no alternative or because of the unmatched control and independence it offers. Just imagine you're starting a business with your own money and you have no boss. When I started my own business, I was very clear that I am quitting my job not to become an employee of another boss. So it's really idiotic that I quit my job just to lose the boss system, the employee architecture. I get an investor and the investor becomes my boss. Now this may vary. If your need is really huge, humongous, then of course you can choose this path. But as I said, all the big corporations, HP, Apple, Coca-Cola, they all were self-funded. So if there is a dire need to get into investors, do that. Otherwise, it is always advisable that you have the control, the independence in your business. So the above definition, just taking a clue from that, bootstrapping has always been, and it is still one of the most common means of collecting funds. But this is suitably only if the initial requirement is less. If the requirement is more, you have to find the other options which I have in this presentation. Now, just think about this. Some businesses, they need money right from day one. So for such companies, bootstrapping may not be a good option. But if you are that company who may not need a lot of funds from day one, you can explore other options also. But if you're somebody who needs money from day one, I think bootstrapping or self-funding is not for you. I think the first-time entrepreneurs often have trouble getting funding without first showing some traction or plan or some success. In such cases, bootstrapping allows you to prove the viability, prove the concept, prove the success of your business, and build confidence in the mind of investors. So you can also take that particular route. Now, though the financial risk involved in bootstrapping is very high, it is typically observed that entrepreneurs starting their venture with their own money have higher success ratio. Here I'll say it again. Entrepreneurs starting their venture with their own money have a higher success ratio. It could be because of injecting your own hard-earned money, inevitably, gives you more profit, and I think it makes you more serious and more committed to business ventures because it is hard-earned money. So it's really critical what zone of business are you in and if this works for you or not. Now, quickly, the pros and the cons of bootstrapping. I think it is good. You have total control on your business. You get to keep the entire pie. You focus on the product development and sales. You save immensely on the interest that that you have to pay. And with no interest, your cash flow is positive. You are on profits. There is a formality. There are no compliances which ensure that your time is not wasted. And last but not the least, when you are a bootstrap company or a self-funded company, you really focus. Your focus is really higher since your money is at stake. So you get some money from the investor, you get some money that you have saved. Human tendency, you always work harder if your money is involved. So that's the psychological part of having a bootstrapping done. Now, some of the negatives that we always see the risk is immense. You cannot run away from the risk because everything is at stake. The risk is immense. Your savings can be erased out in no time. The pressure can really affect your pace and growth in the negative fashion. Then there are countless compromises and sacrifices you will have to make because you have limited money and you always have to think which way or which route should we go into in order to get the business running. And because there is no money involved that comes in from the outside market, you actually have no deadlines to repay. And when there are no deadlines to repay, you actually diminish, you actually inhibit your growth. So some of the negatives of bootstrapping are these. Just take notes because I will take you all those 12 options and then you can choose which is the one beneficial to you or not. Then, what is the process of bootstrapping? When should you basically go out and have the bootstrapping funding done? So first of all, there is no process as such involved in self-funding, but I always advise to my clients that at least have some process. Think that you're borrowing money from somebody else. How would you repay? So how would you repay yourself? How would you create a repayment plan? Just think of on all those aspects. then start saving before the launch. It's really important that because you have no investor coming in, you really have to start saving from the launch. You have to really work and master the art of cost cutting. If you're somebody who is really impulsive in making financial decisions, spending a lot, I think this is really not for you. You really have to think on aspects where you can cut costs. Then you have to really keep a lot of money aside for your 1 year expense. So if you're somebody who's starting a new business, bootstrap business, self-funded business, keep at least 1 year saving aside. It will take a lot of time for you to get the cash flow in the positive structure. In my case, for many years, I was not able to manage that because I was always living from paycheck to paycheck. In my case, the paycheck was nothing but the money that the client pays. Right? So it's really important that you have 1 year expense at least kept aside. Keep rekindling your passion because when you are self-funded, when you're bootstrapped, the motivation of running the business with your money will go down. Keep on rekindling your passion because that is when you actually chose to start a business. And very important, you have to invest in the earnest human capital. If you don't invest in that, I think you will really have a tough time running the business. Now, many of you will have this question: who should you consider to bootstrap? Am I ready to bootstrap? I think I have answered in 4 points. A, when your initial capital is really low. You want to start a business and the projection of business is very low. You would have to invest a lot of money while starting. If that is the case, then you can really think of bootstrapping. Then you are a total newcomer in the field. You have no idea. You have no business acumen. There is nobody in your family who has done business. You have no coach in place. You are just starting out like a rookie. If that is the case, then bootstrapping or self-funding is really for you. Or when your business is more service-oriented. Now, you see a lot of entrepreneurs who are in the service business, they don't bootstrap. They don't get investors. If you're in the service industry, technically you don't need to raise money. If you have enough cash flow to run 1 year operations. Yeah. And then last, when you really find it challenging to convince investors about your business, about the idea, about the vision, the passion that you carry. It is quite a possibility that the idea that you have will work as per your thoughts and knowledge, but the investor is not convinced. And this usually happens in the service industry. For a product industry, when an investor sees some revolution, he or she is very inclined to give money. But when it comes to a service industry, it's very difficult to raise money. But I am not saying that service people should not raise money. If you have a great idea, if you follow my steps properly, I think you'll be able to raise a lot of money. So this was about the bootstrapping. The second option that I have is family and friends. Now, gathering funds at a nascent stage of the business will be a painful task. If self-funding falls short in making ends meet, one needs to really look out for other options. Family and friends can be of great help and support at such times. As much as your family and friends want to see you grow, they may also want to have a stake in your talent. They also would want to have a stake in your success, in your potential success or potential talent, which is a fair deal. If I borrow money from a friend or a family, and if they want to be a party to the success or the talent that I possess, I think that is not a bad deal. It's a fair deal. So, as an entrepreneur, you can back this opportunity since it really excludes the risk and the pressure that comes from banks and the VCs and the angel investors. So this is a good opportunity for you to really borrow money from friends and family, but you have proper documentation in place and don't ask for a favor. I always say this: whenever you want to raise money from a friend or from a family member, do not position your need as a favor. Position as an opportunity for them to become an investor in the company, and you have to repay. You have to really give them incentives or profits or whatever terms that you set in order to repay the money. Many times, I also borrow money from people. That is called as loan, a friendly loan. We have proper documentation. We have a proper repayment policy so that money does not look to be a favor. That looks as a proper investment. So it is really recommended that you have a written lending agreement with the terms laid out, even if it is a friendly loan. Various successful businesses, they've started with the investments from friends and family. So don't think that this idea won't work. Don't shoot this idea down. You have to be really mindful about the drawbacks and the loopholes that may come about at difficult times. But the risk is high, and so is the reward. So if you're in a position to grow, not only in terms of business, in terms of wealth, but otherwise also, I think the wealth of your friends and family can be really useful to you when you want to borrow money to see your dream, to see your idea getting into action. Now, the benefits, the pros of borrowing money from family and friends are, see, they will always trust you. You don't have to establish the trust, because they will not invest in your idea, they will invest in you. So if so that the whole option, the whole point of convincing them, showing them a business plan, numbers, will be ruled out, because they trust you. You can always ask for flexibility in payment, and many a times when you miss the deadlines, they'll always be kind to you. The interest rates are really lower because you set the interest rate. In many cases, they don't charge interest. It happened to me also, but but have some repayment policy going in. Then you always have a favorable recognition if you succeed. So they will always respect you for what you've done, because see, little motivational, but people respect when you start tasting success. They will never respect you just for the idea that you have. They'll always respect you for the success that you produce. And when you borrow money from your friends and family, I don't think so you have lengthy formalities involved. You can go basic, and if they trust you, the idea is good, they would definitely pay you. Your job as a borrower is to ensure that you have all legal paperwork done. It's really important. Now, it also has some negatives. You have risk, and the risk is immense, because when you lose money, you not only lose money, you also lose that relationship. You also lose the trust. So you can always go back with the sorry face to the investor, but I don't think so. You can always face your friends and families when you let them down. Yeah. So because your personal rapport, your personal relation is at stake. Because when you actually fail, when you lose their money, you also get into social awkwardness. And it's very important that you borrow money from your friends and families only when you're very much sure that your idea will work. When you borrow money, you also have lack of clarity. The pressure can really affect your pace in growth in a negative way. What is the process? Just ask. You have to be really polite and humble. Show them the passion. Let them see the fire in you. If they don't see the fire in you, they are not going to pay. Even if it is a family or a friend, even if it is your father or a mother, go as if you're talking to an investor. Go with a proper plan. Show them you're not asking for a favor. I'm repeating again and again. Many people lose this opportunity because they borrow money from friends and families, assuming or showcasing as if you're asking for a favor. Don't do that. Always have lending agreement, even if they deny. They would say, no, it's okay. No, you get into legal papers because it's money. It's money. And money have actually taken a lot of empires down. So you always have to have agreements in place. Even if they say no, you have to say yes, yes. Always keep minimum expectations and deliver high returns. So if you think that your business is poised to grow at 20% per year, show them 15%. Because people like when you talk less and do more. And that's what your friends and families will really appreciate. Always keep them in the loop of business decisions. They deserve to know what's happening with their money. If you always tend to borrow money from friends and families and don't update them frequently. I'm not saying by updating you have to call them and meet them. You can send some newsletters, you can send them updates or the sales numbers, developments, because you have to keep on establishing the faith, the trust in your idea. Yeah. And always express your gratitude. Thank you really helps. And thank you always helps, because you're dealing with people who are emotionally connected to you. I think gratitude will really help during the process of raising money. Now, the question is, should you consider the option? Yes, you should really consider the option when you can guarantee profit as early as possible. And you please note the word guarantee in that line. You have to really guarantee that this idea will work when you're confident that your plan will work. Confidence, when the other options that you have explored, they look too difficult to pursue. They look too complicated to get. And then when you can afford to risk the trust factor. So, these are some of the points that you should really focus on when you borrow money from your friends and families. I think it's really important that you go with them first, because your dear ones are the ones who would really want to invest in you before the world does. And this is a good pilot for you also. If your idea, it'll tell you that is good or bad. If your close people are not giving you money, do you think the investor will give? No. Let them validate the idea. Take in small portions, and then you get the MVP, right? And then you magnify, you scale it up, and you go and meet the investor. So this was all about family and friends. Now, angel investors. Now, one of the options to secure your finances may lie with an angel. No, we don't. So I'm not talking about the divine intervention of the angel. Many entrepreneurs prefer to reinvest their funds back into startup businesses after making a fortune in their own markets. So what do these investors do? They create a startup. They make a lot of money, and they reinvest the proceeds, the profits, into other startups. I think these are nothing but the angel investors. Some of the world's largest companies, including Google, Facebook, Skype, Twitter, have received angel investing. And some of them turn out to be the next angel investors. So you can always find people who are really successful startups because they are the ones who would be inclined to reinvest in your idea, because they know what it takes to raise money for the businesses. So it's really imperative that you as an entrepreneur understand the structure, the approach, the criteria of different angel groups thoroughly. A new startup owner can end up lost in the business chaos, trying to learn, trying to cope up with the tricks of the trade, trying to struggle and then fail and succeeding in running the businesses. So the advice, the connections that the angel investor brings in can really be valuable to you. So these are the best way to get into businesses. You may also find these investors working in network groups just to analyze the proposal, before investing in mutually. Sometimes, the angel investors also offer mentoring and guidance to the startups, along with the money that they pay, that they invest. Also, the angel investor, when he or she is a part of the company, they carefully observe the progress to ensure that you don't blow their money away. And you also get all the questions answered in the right way when you have the angel investor on board. So an angel investor generally expects a return of 25% per annum or more. The rate of return angel investor makes much higher compared to traditional investment options. Hence, it turns out to be a win-win situation for both parties. You get angel investments, you pay them 25%, which is much higher than other investment options that you have, or else they would pay. So, but I always say it is really inappropriate selection of angel investment, because you may result in wasting the time, the resources, because both are precious. So you have to be really, really, really clear about the idea. Several angel investors in India are consistently eyeing for promising entrepreneurship ideas to invest. They really look out for ideas. You have to find those angel investors. I've been able to create a list of some angel investors according to this report of your story. You have Benny Bansal, the Flipkart guy. You have Rajan Anandan. You have Girish. Mathrubhutam, you have Krish Gopalakrishnan, you have Meena, you have Meena Ganesh, you have Ritesh Malik, you have Anupam Mittal, you have Sachin Bansal, you have Naveen Tiwari, you have the Paytm guy Vijay Shekhar Sharma, you have the legend Mr. Ratan Tata, you have Kunal Shah, you have Kunal Bahl. There are many people who are angel investors. You just have to find them. Alternatively, you can also find them in groups. So you have something called as Indian Angel Network. You have got Chennai Angels. You have Mumbai Angels. You have Chandigarh Angels. So in my ebook, I have given detailed knowledge, detailed insights about all these people. I will email that ebook to you. Just have a look at it. Now, the benefits of going with an angel investment is, I think, the value is massive. You get mentoring and guidance. They really become a mentor and they teach you. You can really leverage their expertise, their contacts. When you have angel investor on board, the money is really blessed because people have really made money out of that money. So the success ratio is always higher when you have the angel investor in place. Your personal assets are secured because you don't have to really go out in the market and mortgage your assets to get money. Risk-wise, the risk is less relatively compared to other options that you have. It really excludes repayment in case of business failure. So some of the angel investors don't ask for money back if the business fails. So that's really powerful. But I would really rule this option out because if I start a business, I have to be extremely sure. If I'm not sure, if I choose investments with the thought that, okay, the guy won't ask money, I think I'm gambling. And you can't gamble in business. So keep this in mind really carefully. Then some of the negatives of angel investments are, you have shared ownership. You actually have a boss sitting on your head. You may call him as a mentor, as a guide, but at the end of the day, he is your boss and he's going to question you. You have high expectations from them, because they have paid money. Because the idea is so good, so lucrative, it's very difficult to find a good angel investor. The fund, if you look at the entire pool of money that investors have, I think angel investor has very limited funding. And you don't get the structural support when you get into the angel investment. Yeah. So what is the process? It's very simple. Research, find those groups. You have to make a choice. Do you want to make an individual your angel investor, or you want to make one company, one group, one entity, one organization as your angel investor? You have to really research the progress report of the startups funded by them. Because it's a two-way communication, it's a win-win situation for both. While he's researching on your progress, you also research that is his hand blessed or not? Is his money really working or not? Yeah, that's really important. You always go and approach them with a reliable business plan, make your pitch decks, prepare your pitch presentations, carefully formulate, carefully make the repayment plans, the repayment structure. They really support in terms of equity also. So you can also explore that option. And, if the person is coming in as your mentor also, he can guide you. He can really help you in your journey of becoming the mentor. Yeah. I know you have a lot of questions. I have to finish within 90 minutes, so park your questions. I'll take those questions. Don't worry on that. This is going to be very intense, research-based knowledge. Yeah. So when should you consider this option? I think when you have a comprehensive business plan ready, when you actually feel the need of having a mentor along with money. If you are somebody who wants guidance and money, both going hand in hand, then you can really think of having angel on board. When you're eyeing to conquer new heights, when you're really passionate about changing the world, you think your product or a service is a revolution, then you should really think of going with angel. When you're actually super confident about your idea, because you're borrowing money, you having angel on board, he's somebody who's been there, done that. So you have to be really confident. And when you are a great business person and you actually build a strong team with you. If you don't build a strong team, I think everything will go for a toss. That is when you can actually have your angel investor going in. Yeah. Moving on, venture capitalist. I think this is the most talked about word or words that we hear. VCs are nothing but professionally managed funds that invest in early stage, high potential, new and existing business or startup ideas. The VC providers own a share of equity in the industry. They fund as their earnings. Therefore, they have various exit options to cash out from. They can exit in the form of IPO. They can exit in the form of promoter buyback, merger, acquisitions, auction, or other strategic investor. So they have their exit plan really well. They know how to exit. And I think one of the most prominent features of VCs are not the way they enter, but the way they exit. So if you have a VC on board, I think you should really pay attention more on the exit, his exit, and not his entry. Right now, these days they typically have a combination of both equity, debt, and other conditional loan that they offer to the idea. VCs, they offer knowledge, they guide you, they give you a regular reality check on the direction of your business. It really helps you to kind of evaluate your business from various crucial perspectives. It could be your sustainability, it could be your revenue, it could be your scalability, and so on. So there are majorly three types of VC funding that you have. You have early stage funding, you have expansion funding, and you have buyout funding. Yeah. So some of the active VCs that you have are SL Partner, Nexus, Venture East, On-Kit Capital Fund, Blue Ventures. So some of the active people that you have in the VC zone, and they really help people. Inventors Capital, Safe Partners, Matrix, Omnivore, Chiratech. Just take a screenshot of this, and you can really find them. Now, it also has great value. When the VC are on board, they actually create a huge financial arrangement. And if the money is really humongous, I think you should really explore VC as an option. And you should really explore VC because this could be your sure shot destination of big bets. All these big players, all the big names, 1,000 crores, this lakh crore, money coming in, all that coming from VCs. You really get money from people who professionally manage funds. They offer expertise, they offer monitoring. And the tie-up is temporary. Because as I said, when the VC come in, they come in to exit. So when you have VC on board, unlike angel investor or other investor, you don't have to really tie them up with you forever. You can always have the exit option going in. Some of the disadvantages are they lack loyalty. You have high risk involved. The recovery period can be really short. You have, they only favor larger opportunities. They are not some people who would always go and support the smaller ones. And they also have shared ownership with them. So the process, you just go and explain the idea, explain the plan, do the scrutiny, select the business, ask for a meeting, do your due diligence processes, keep the funding option ready, and show them the plan as to how will you deploy those funds. I think when you go and meet a VC, they have their own templates. They have their own list of things that they need when you actually go with a VC. Now, when should you really apply or consider this option? When you are having a business which is small, but it is beyond the startup phase. It is beyond a tenure. Then I think VC is good. Then you have successfully surpassed the product stage. You have a product, it is fully developed. I think that is when you can go and approach them. When you're really generating revenues, the traction is good. You want money to multiply. You want money to get growth in multi-fold. Then the VC is a good option. When you have already availed a great team, when you're confident of the business plan that you have. I think when you do that, you will be able to really get a lot of VCs. Similarly, I have incubators, accelerators. You can read about them in the ebook. They really favor the environment. They offer quality advice. They give you serious approach, support structure, again mentoring. When you talk about the negatives for incubators and accelerators, they have high equity on stake, complete dependence. A lot of people today don't opt for these options of incubators and accelerators. But when you read my ebook completely, you will basically understand how it should be done. Then you have a contest and competition. This is going in increasing number. You can always have the competition, the contest going in. So an increase in the number of matches and competition for startup has tremendously helped people to maximize the prospect of fundraising. Such initiatives motivates entrepreneurs with robust business ideas to conquer their dream. And such contests, such competitions, they require you to either build, to demonstrate your product, and to prepare, conducive business plan, or to really make your project stand out to improve success in that. So this can really add element of innovation, creativity. So basically, you're borrowing money by creating contests and competition. This is a great chance for your network. You have to analyze. You can create a great prize money. This is a great platform, to rehearse for your funding presentation. So you invite people. You have contests. You have competition going in, and that is the area where you actually pitch the idea to. So this really helps when you have a funding opportunity through contests and competition. You basically don't get into a lot of formalities and procedures. Negatives, again, tough competition. Very difficult to have terms and conditions ready. You can create occasional opportunities, because the time is consuming in it. And maybe I sometimes feel that when you do such things, it could be a biased approach. It could be really a biased approach. Then you have a business partner. Very simple. When you want to raise money, just find a business partner who you can support. The business partner can also come in two forms. A, the business partner can be a part of the company, help you in daily operation, or B, just invest money and have the money being growing up, and that's about it. Yeah. So it's good. You don't run the show all alone. Have a business partner in place, and you get the ball rolling from there. Then you have banks. I don't have to get into the detail of banks. So you have line of credit, you have overdraft, you have term loan, you have working capital, you have loan on gold, you have loan on financial securities, you have loan against shares, you have cash credit, you have letter of credit, you have loan against property, you have bank guarantee, you have bill invoice discounting options available, you have equipment financing, invoice financing, term loan, unsecured loan, secured loan, merchant cash advances. I think you read my ebook, you'll get a clear understanding on this. And I think these are the options that the bank have. Now, the best part of bank is you get tax benefits. You get multiple options. You can really retain control over this, because when banks pay, they don't get into mentoring and guidance. They only want the money back. So you have full trust, full confidence in your ideas, and because there is no dependency, there is no ownership coming in from any of the mentors that you have. The transaction is secured. You have fixed interest rates. You go with a professional banker, and you have predictable payments. You have the EMIs going in, and you can pay them. The drawbacks: the process is lengthy, and with a given fact about the Indian economy, banks actually refrain from giving money to new ideas. But if you're lucky, if your idea is good, I think you'll make the cut. Then there's no chance of qualifying. They go with the civil record, this record, that record. A huge process involved. You need to have a good track record. You need to really, if it is loan against property or any other collateral, you will risk that. You will always have the risk to lose the collateral. Good credit, and it's tiring and time consuming. right? So I don't have to tell you the process of acquiring a bank loan. You just go and fill the form, some of your documents, and the loan will be ready. You can really go with this idea if you have exceptional grade to qualify. When you have a definite plan pitch, when you have a healthy cash flow, and you have a specific purpose of the loan, and you have a great collateral in place, when you have something really valuable which you can mortgage and get a loan against the collateral. Then you have credit cards. I don't have to get into the pros and cons. You have the loan not from the banks but from the microfinance companies, the non-banking financial corporations, namely India Bulls, IIFL, Tata Capital, Fullerton, Religare, NIC, DHFL. I think some of them are not in operations. You will have a lot of NBFCs who actually lend you money. It's really good because the processing gets really faster. You have very lenient eligibility criteria. You have low rules and regulations. The disadvantages are you have very high interest rates, and you get a loan only in small amounts. So you can really think of choosing NBFCs when you meet the criteria, and when your credit score is not that strong, when you have limited requirements. I think that is when you can go and you can opt for funding from the NBFCs. Then you have the prevailing government schemes. You have a lot of schemes that are currently going in from the government side. You can check their websites, you can check their eligibility criteria, and you can really go and apply the bank schemes. To name a few, you have Mudra, you have NABARD, you have Credit Guarantee Scheme, you have Startup India Scheme, you have Smile Foundation, you have Bank Credit Facilitation Scheme. You have a lot of schemes going in. So government is also helping a lot of businesses get money. I think the last I read was India government announced a startup initiative for creating a favorable environment for the startups. So keep checking their websites, and if you find something interesting, just apply and wait for your turn. They really lend money in great numbers. You get tax exemption for 3 years. It's really easy to access funds. You have a reduction in cost filing patents. You save time. You have tax benefits, and you network with fellow entrepreneurs who are availing the same bank loan. The negatives are, the ecosystem, the entire ecosystem of government helping people prosper in business by funding is not that great currently. I think it is in a developing phase. The cost to get loan sometimes are very high, and it's very difficult to win the trust. So this is all about borrowing from government schemes. Go to the bank, they have OTP process, fill up the process. And if you're somebody who has a clean and a professional background, you can really opt for a government scheme. When your business is in good shape, when you have a robust business plan, when you have really maintained all your tax papers, all your tax files for at least 3 years, when you have the financial statement and the legal documents are sorted for you. If you follow in this scheme, I think you will really create a lot of money from the institutions. Last but not the least, crowdfunding. I think crowdfunding is still finding its grip in India, and it's gradually gaining quite a lot of popularity in the recent order. There are websites that really help crowdfunding for noble causes. It includes taking a loan, pre-order, contribution, investments, so on and so forth. The internet has really closed the gap between the business and the customer. And there is no middleman currently. So you can really forget about the change for traditional shopping to online shopping. People are now buying online before the product is released. So they pre-book. All those things are happening because of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding, I always feel, is an absolute opposite to traditional business route. So ideally, you would build a product, get some traction, raise money, and get more customers. In crowdfunding, it is exactly the reverse. So the popular ways of sourcing crowdfunding are donation-based, reward-based, equity-based. With crowdfunding, usually it happens that people pre-order your product or a service. That is when you actually generate sales to to use that money to make the final product. If you're somebody who has a great product, you can always have a pre-order, a pre-sale of the product, get money, and then invest that into making the complete product. Yeah. So you have Rangde, you have Keto, you have Wishberry, a lot of crowdsourcing companies that you currently have who are helping great causes. So the pros of this is you have low risk. It's really time saving. It helps in pre-marketing because when you pre-sell, when you pre-order, you can really save a lot of money there. The pool of investment is very large because they always think of catering to somebody who has a noble cause. And in crowdfunding, you can really validate the product market fit. Who's buying what, who's buying where, will this market fit him or not? And you can always part with the equity. So this is an optional feature of parting with equity when it comes to pros. The bad things, the negatives, I think you have a risk to see that your idea is being stolen. The idea is being copied by a competitor. You actually secure the trust of your customers before the launch is difficult. So in that case, this really works in the negative fashion. This opportunity is really competitive and time consuming. I feel this might not work for B2B products and services. For a B2C, crowdfunding works. For a B2B, I doubt. And you really have high pressure on delivery because when you actually pre-order or pre-sell, you have to finish the development of the product in time. And because you have to finish on time, you don't have great flexibility in product development. Yeah, so the process is you have to register to a platform, share the details, and who should you consider is go with a nice crowdfunding partner. And when should you do it? When you wish to market a product alongside fundraising, when you lack clarity on demand for your product, when you have enough time and patience. That okay, I will pre-order, I will pre-sell, and I have enough time to complete the final product. When you really wish to eradicate investors and brokers in line, when you want to eliminate the middleman, I think that is where the crowdfunding can really help you. Go to my ebook, read everything properly. I cannot finish everything in 90 minutes, so I'm going a little faster. But just understand that you have a lot of options available in terms of crowdfunding. So the conclusion that I have actually derived is that it's not that difficult to raise money. You can always raise money, but let me tell you one strange secret. Now let me stop my screen for that first. Let me share a secret with you. Yeah, because I've been talking here. The secret is this: you do everything, but you will not raise money. The reason is the investor today is beyond business plan. The investor today is really wanting to get more knowledge, get more information. So if you don't approach an investor with a system, a marketing system through which you can really show or prove to him that how will you get his money back with interest. If you don't have that system, you won't get money. Because please understand, a lot of startups, a lot of businesses are failing because they have a great idea on paper, but they have no clear system to get customers. And today, if there is one thing that the investor is really interested to know, it is how will you get customers for your business so that you pay me. I think that is what your investor is needing today, right? So there's also a marketing angle to it. The way you market your brand, your products, your services to get customers, the same way you have to market your own brand. The same way you have to really market your idea so that you get customers. So while when you market to the customer is want to know how will you solve the problem through your product. The investors want to know what is the system through which you can get a lot of money. So when I do my 3-day seminar, I always pick this topic and we do introspect on that as to what is the right method, the right system to make a plan. So while all your business coaches, all your consultants will give you a business plan to pitch to the investor, I think what is missing in your plan is a step-by-step, powerful, foolproof marketing system through which you can prove to him or her that, hey, money is really possible. Hey, you can really get customers. If you do that, you will make the cut. Otherwise, you'll raise money, you'll burn money, you will lose your faith, you'll lose your confidence, and you will not be a better person ever. And you will be always a trap to raise money. And no wonder why all these big people, big companies keep raising money. They keep raising money because they don't create a marketing system for them. They don't create a system to get customers. So Snapdeal raises this first round of VC funding, second round of VC funding, third round of VC funding. This process is ever growing because they have no system to get customers. So if you're an entrepreneur who is really wanting to leverage, who is really wanting to grow business with investments from investors, I think you should really focus on marketing. And for people who are really serious, I do a 3-day marketing program where I give you my proven marketing system formula, which is called as AIM Acceleration in Intelligent Marketing. And let me quickly show you how can you also create your marketing plan. So this is my PPT for marketing system. I have traveled the world. I have gone to places to learn from the best and the best of people. This is all the pictures. I went to Singapore to learn from world's number one peak performance coach, Tony Robbins. This room was filled with 10,000 people. I have mentors in place. At the center you see Mr. Pillai. He's authored over 30 books on Chanakya series. So you can Google him, Dr. Radhakrishan Pillai. The whole idea is that I have created a system where if you market it right way, you can lead a great life. Because I always say, no marketing means no customers. No customer is equal to no business. No business means you have no regular income. And when you have no regular income, you have no life. So it's really important that you market the right way. And as an entrepreneur, you always have ideas, thoughts, what is the right way, the wrong way. In my 3-day marketing program, I actually deep dive with people. I spend a lot of time understanding and giving them input and insight so that they not only get customers for their business, but they also end up getting investors for their business. Because I always say, and keep this in mind, there are only 2 constants in business. A, keep getting customers, and B, keep raising money. And you can fulfill those 2 constants only when you have a great marketing system. If you don't have a marketing system, I think everything will go for a toss. I have actually formulated the entire idea of my learnings of last 1 decade into a book. This should get launched if Amazon supports by Jan end. Further, what I've done is I have made a 3-day marketing program called the AIM program. Usually, this is priced at 75,000 rupees. But for you, limited action takers, I have something special. This is going to be a 3-day program in Hotel Sara Star, my flagship venue, from the 7th to 9th of Feb. This is a venue that it looks like we had a seminar in the same hall last week. I have something really special for you people who are really wanting to change their life with marketing. You will learn the top 25 marketing ideas to attract customers without even having to hire an agency. Right? We will have a profitable CEO's marketing secret checklist. What are the 5 ways to develop an intelligent marketing mind? How to develop a marketing system without spending a bomb within 30 days or less. Then you learn how to get as many customers and sales even if you have a low marketing budget. Then you learn how can you market a product service profitably even if you don't have an MBA degree. And all these lines, my clients, my participants, they testify in their video that I have an MBA degree, but I think these ideas will work for me. People have testified this. What are the alarming things you must know to generate more ROI from your marketing efforts? Because people want ROI, and you do marketing in a very haphazard way. How to really integrate online marketing and offline marketing in 21 days with low or no risk. You will learn that. How do you master lead generation and copywriting? You learn that. What are the marketing mistakes that you see while starting a new business or a new vertical that no marketer would dare to tell you? I dare to tell people when I share my ideas, I'm not bragging. When I share my ideas, people listen to me with their mouth wide open. I really blow their mind away because I have done my homework, I've done my research, I've really invested my time, my energy. I've been grinding, hustling a lot. And when I share my ideas, the pin drops silence, and people really they have their mouths open when I share ideas. I'll share those pictures with you, and it'll really blow your mind away. And what are 10 time tested strategies which is helping businesses become scalable and profitable. After 3 days, all my participants have laser clear clarity on the customer, on the business. They have a marketing plan for 18 months. Most of them, they came and told me that, Jackson, you have helped us save lakhs. If you go to a top agency, they will charge us nothing less than 50 lakhs. But you have helped us save that much money. So this was a module, but if you're somebody who is always wanting to have more and more, you can get invitation to all my webinars. You will get the AIM certificate, and I in my 3-day program, I actually share the true value of a certificate, and people clap for it. I will really show you how to use and leverage certificate. In fact, certificate is also a form of marketing. I call it certificate marketing. Then we do a follow-up event after the session, so you can be a part of it. So these are my 3 bonuses. Because you're very special to me, you came at 9 p.m. I have some more for you. I'll give the ultimate bonus. In my 3-day program, you will learn how to get your biggest visiting card. I will show you my step-by-step process of making your book as a biggest visiting card. And I'll show it to you that even you can write and you can become an author, complete a book in 90 days. You will learn all of that. If you really want to change your life, change your game, keep getting customers, keep raising money forever, I think you need to master my AIM marketing system. If you don't master my AIM system, I think you will keep on paying money to different agencies and you'll keep on burning money. And I'm saying this with a lot of guarantee and with a lot of responsibility, because this is something that my participants have given this feedback. Actually, you have helped us save money. Yeah. So I have got some special offer for action takers for today. If you buy this ticket today, the entire package will be at 25,000 rupees instead of 75. GST will be extra, of course. You can be a part of the program. You can learn with me for 3 days. You can network. And I'll tell you the biggest secret. You can go and check my social media. People have got customers in the seminar. I think this is the only seminar in India or perhaps in the world where people get customers in the seminar. I think this is very powerful because I've made it that way. Because I also want gratification. I want my people to really feel good. And that's why I made this feature in my program. Yeah. So if you compare the offer, the kind of offer I'm giving, I think it is valued at 1,90,000 rupees. But I have got really outreaches for you. Something which is very irresistible. If you take decision today, the entire offer of 1,90,000 can be made into 25,000 rupees. Yeah. This offer is only for today. You can book the seat for Feb 7th, 8th and 9th by paying 5,000 per GST now. And the remaining 20K can be paid by 31st of December. Now, some of you will think that, okay, Jackson, this is too expensive. I'll tell you things that you can buy for 25. You can buy a smartphone. You can go on a vacation with your spouse or with your family or friends. You can have a nice 31st party. You can buy expensive gadgets, airpods. You can invest in sports apparels. You can have a good laptop. You can have a good camera. You can have a good PlayStation playing games. You can have great smartwatches. You can have speakers. The list is endless. Now, these are products that people buy when they want to find entertainment in their life. Today, I want you to invest in a decision which can really help you get customers forever. Decision which can really help you keep raising money forever. Yeah. So the decision is today, only for today. If you take this decision, I will give the link right away, and then we'll open Q&A for some time. You can make a decision. The ebook of the fundraising will be emailed to you. You can have it, read it at leisure, And if you decide to book today, be with me for 3 days for my intensive AIM program, you have to pay 5,000 plus GST now and 20 by the 31st of December. So what I'll do, I'll quickly share the link of that, and you can start paying. Yeah. So just go to your chat box. I have given the link to you. When you click on the link, you will have something like this. This page will come up. You have to click on buy tickets, and you can read the description. I have given everything that you need to know about the AIM program. And I tell you, this is something that I am not bragging. If you really want to know the value, go to my social media and check the feedback. Yeah, check the feedback. So you can really go and learn from that. Now let me take questions if you have any questions. So what you can do is you can go to the Q&A section of your chat box, and if I find your question relevant, I will really pick it up and I'll answer them. Yeah. So let me call out names of people who have been great listeners and raising hands. Dipti Jain, Rajiv Raut, Sachin Kamath, we have Mayur Jembe, we have Miral, we have Prachi, we have Pramod, we have Vinay. Any questions, people, you can ask. If I find a question relevant, interesting, helpful to others, I would definitely pick it up. Yeah. Be a part of the same system, because it can really change your life. And I have proved that if you have no marketing, you have no life. So this webinar was for a close group of people. I got some leads also from webinar, and that's how we got this webinar in place. So ask questions if you have any. Okay, so we have one question on the Q&A. It says, okay, what is the ROI of this program? Same day. I think the moment you leave after 3 days, you'll come and thank me. And all have thanked me. You'll come and thank me that Jackson, your ideas work. If you are a good networker, you will get customers before this 3-day ends. You will get customers. So my job is to give you idea, the implementation plan. It is your job to really transform, to convert that into results. And that will be your ROI. You'll keep on paying money, you'll keep on spending money on other things. You always have bright guys coming and discussing ideas with you, and you'll keep on experimenting with them. But if you are a smart entrepreneur, a smart marketer, you will always invest in ideas which is helping you give results. I do my homework for this webinar. I had to do my whole research, because if I don't give you the value, you won't get the value and you won't believe in me. Yeah. So then we have one more question. Can you list down the 12 options again? Okay. So you have bootstrapping or self-funding. You have family and friends. You have angel investors. You have venture capitals. You have business incubators and accelerators. You have contests and competition. You have banks. You have microfinance or NBFCs, which is non-banking financial corporations. You have government schemes. You have crowdfunding. You have business partner, and you have credit cards. Yeah, so I will email the ebook to you. It's a great ebook. Some 45 pages. Take notes. Get into that, and you'll learn a lot. I promise you'll learn a lot if you go through the entire ebook. Yeah, because it's a short webinar. I cannot be discussing all the points. But quick point for you. See, investors, they invest in you. Always remember this. Investors don't invest in the idea. It is up to you how impressive, how brilliant your personal brand is. If they don't like you, they will never like the idea. Right? So think about this. So the investor will like who first? You or the idea? You will never have an investor saying that I like your idea, but I don't like you. It could be the other way around. They would say that, hey, I like you, but the idea is poor. So it's very important you market right way. And building a personal brand is a part of marketing system. If you don't have a personal brand, they'll never buy from you. They'll never like you. And people always feel that I will start investing into marketing when I have money, when I raise money. Hard fact, you will never raise money. You never have money if you don't market. So it's really important that you do it the right way. Be a part of my system, be a part of my community, learn with us, grow with us. And I promise that every penny that you spend, you will get ROI 10x, 10 times more ROI than you invest. And I can't make it a bigger USP than saying that you can get a chance to get customers within the seminar itself. And I will make it happen. I make it happen. I really push people into it. So this is your chance. Give me one weekend and I'll change the fortune of your marketing and business. And I'm somebody who always sells the dream that I'm living currently. I'm not somebody who would always sell something that I'm living. I am selling a dream that I am living currently. And the dream is you can forever keep raising money and keep getting customers for your business. Because in your entire entrepreneurship or entrepreneur life, you have only two constants. A, keep getting customers, keep getting money, keep raising money. Yeah, so I think we are done. We have one more question. Okay, do we need to hire a finance consultant? Of course, you need to. See, you need to always invest in good coaches. I'll tell you what, the power of a king is not in the king. The power of the king is in the advisors the king has. A great king will always have great advisors. You will never have a great king with no advisors. So if you're somebody, I know how to manage money. No, you need to have a wealth consultant or a wealth coach. I think I know how to go to the gym and how to have the dumbbells and the barbells used for my workout. Yes, but you need a coach. The coach will push you. The coach will bring in new energy. The coach will actually give you a lot of insights and ideas. Yeah. So in all areas of life, you may know everything and you should know everything. The success lies in taking massive action. And sometimes we need to have external force coming in the form of a coach to push you to give you the right idea, the right knowledge. Because, it's no, I think it's a no-brainer. You just can't have success with only knowledge. Yeah. So the formula for success is continuous learning and massive action. When the learning is in you, you have to learn. The action part, you need to have a catalyst. You need to have a coach who will support you. So your question is on the funding. Of course, you need to have a coach. Get a CA, get a nice CS, nice consultant who will help you, guide you. And you always keep on paying to the coach more. And that is good. Because that will ensure that you don't have to pay unnecessary money to a wrong decision. So better to have a good coach who will guide you. I push my people that you need to have a marketing coach. You need to have a consultant in place. Who will push you, who will guide you, who will ensure that you cross the line. You cross the line. Nobody will do that. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Then we have one more question coming in. Do your ideas work for one industry or industry? See, I am a marketing coach. I'm a marketing consultant. And I know marketing. Now, the formula in my definition, marketing is nothing but buyer meeting the seller. My job is to ensure that the buyer meets the seller, irrespective of the industry. You go to my social media, read the testimony. People have said that his ideas work for all industries. See, it's not about the idea. It's all the expertise. It's how you do it. In my 3-day program, I don't think so. I teach something which you will hear for the first time. But I'll give you a plan to implement those ideas. Right? I'll give you a plan to implement and I will really help you. I will really hold your hand and I will help you cross the road. Because that's my job. I get paid for doing it. That's my calling. That's my calling. So it's really important that you jump with me. I will push you, but I'll jump with you. I will push you to swim, but I'll swim with you. So that's what a coach does. Yeah. Okay, I think we are done with the questions. We have no further questions. So I hope you're taking action. Go to the link. I will put the link once again for people who are action takers. I know this is going to be a good investment. I know it's expensive, but what will happen at the max? You will get one idea that can help you grow your business by 10 times. That's it. I'm not giving you a GAN here, but I'm telling you what my other participants talk about the seminar, the program that we do. And we do in a good hotel, a good place where you have good food, good ambience, good music. Because I really try to build a great learning culture. And there are times when the day ends, people don't wish to leave the venue. They want to sit and listen more and more and more. And that's my job. So when you attend the program in Feb, I would have optimized. I would have done something better than before. So yeah, so I really optimize a lot, and you will learn a lot. That's my promise to you. Yeah. So for people in the webinar, take decision, opt in. Help me hold your hand, help me share all my secrets, and help me give you a plan which will really change the destiny, the future, the fortune of your business. And you need to market. You are a marketer all your life. When you're asking your boss for a raise, you're marketing. When you want to choose a gift for your wife, for your mother, for your father, for your brother, for your sister, you're marketing. Yeah. So I will really take you through all the concepts that I've discovered all these years, which can really help you attain success, and which can really help you fulfill those two constants. One, keep getting customers for your business, and two, keep raising money for your business. So yeah, so take decision. I have shared the link in the chat box. Click on the link, pay the deposit now, and you can pay the remaining amount by 31st of December. My team will be in touch with you. I have a young and vibrant team, so we are a team of young people, and we really try our hard to impress people and to really give them more value than the price we quoted. Yeah, so that's about it. I think my time is up. Thank you so much for being a part of this webinar. I really want to thank you. It takes guts and courage, focus, determination, commitment to be learning at 9 p.m. I choose to do a 9 p.m. webinar because I really want you all to know my ideas and sleep over it. Because when you sleep over it, you get up next day in the morning, you have clear plan. I would have filled a lot of seeds in your subconscious mind that when you get up morning, your mornings are really good. You have a morning which is filled with right plan, right idea, right execution strategies. Yeah. So don't deviate your focus. If you want to follow my rule, after this webinar, just take a pen and paper. I have shared 12 options to raise your money from. Just think, who do you know? Refer to my ebook, which I will email to you, and I'm sure you'll go places. And last but not the least, always remember, you will raise money not by having a great plan, but by having a great personal brand. If they like you, they will do whatever you want them to do for you, and they will like you only when you market it right. Yeah. So that's about it. Thank you so much once again. My time is up. I started at 9 o'clock. We'll end at 10:30 sharp. Do well in life. Keep checking your emails for my forthcoming events, my webinars, my seminars, and be a part of my circle, my inner circle. It has people like you who are committed, who are focused, and we try hard to give value. We try really hard to help people grow. Because I have learned this, I decided to make money by helping people. That's a part of my job as a coach, as a consultant. And I think I'm doing good at it. Yeah. So thank you so much once again, and I hope to see you soon. I hope you make the decision right now. We'll keep the link open for a few more minutes. Book now. Learn from me. Learn with me. Network and grow your business. And always remember two constants. One, keep getting customers, and two, keep raising money for your business. Yeah. It's 10:30. Thank you so much, and I hope you love this webinar. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.